It's Yami, your Latina next door, and I am back with another video. This video, I share with you guys my craft room reveal. As you know, I have been working on my craft room for the past month, and I did not have a space at all whatsoever. This was just a little room that I was basically throwing stuff in, and there was nothing done. So after 5 weeks of working on it, I finally have a room that I can definitely make some crafts and some DIY projects for you all. Now, I also have a couple of videos already. I'll make sure I link to them below. The first one is kind of like the beginning, where this all started, and also kind of where I headed and the changes and decisions that I had to make along the way. Now for this room, I wanted to create something that was inspiring, a room that I wanted to actually spend time in, and I think I've accomplished that. I've given it my Hamptons farmhouse style, and I've used a lot of things that I already had on hand and others that I purchased along the way in order to make this room more functional. Now my room is about 95% done, and I say that because there are always things you can change, always extra things you can add, and things you can take away after a while where you find out that, you know what, that actually doesn't work for me. But as of right now, this room is exactly what I hoped it would be. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like this video and you want to see more like this. And also, if you enjoyed this craft room tour, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Now let's get to that tour. Now, one of the items that I completely love were these little $3 bins that I got on Hollar.com. It's an online dollar store, and I will link to it below because if you use my referral link, you actually get $5 store credit. These are very sturdy, and they were the perfect size to actually put 3 along the bottom of my bookcases. And I have my jar where I was gonna, like I said before in my last video, I put all of my scrap fabric in here so that I can practice different kinds of stitches on there. And here is my little caddy where I got my glue, markers, glue sticks, scissors, paintbrushes, and little miscellaneous items that I might need. Very handy. And I have tape measures and several other things in these little drawers. I think this is super handy. Now for my IKEA table that literally took me like 20 minutes to build, I actually created this little skirt. And the reason I chose this table was because it had a little extra space right in here to where I can add a little those tension rods so that I can hang this. Since it wasn't covered up, I didn't want people to see this little storage bin that I have right underneath with extra fabric and extra supplies, simply because I don't have anywhere else to store them. I figured I'd go ahead and leave them in that box, which is perfectly fine. It's clear and I can see what's inside of it and I can easily grab it. But I don't want to see it, so I thought this cute little skirt would be perfect addition to my table. So one of the other items that I purchased, which I thought was super handy, were these 3 little bins right here that I got for $4 a piece on sale at Michael's. Now these are basically for storing 12 by 12 sheets of paper, and I do have some, but I don't really work a lot with it, so I only have just 1 bin prepared with them. However, I do want to use them for projects where I'm actually working on and I want to keep all of my items in one place. So let's say I'm working on a pillow cover and I don't get to finish it. What I want to do is, after I'm done, I put everything back in here, whether it's the thread, the scissors, any ribbon that I'm using, and the fabric that I've cut, and I go ahead and put it back in here, store it back in place until I need it the next time. This way I can find everything I need the minute I start working on it again, and I don't leave a mess of supplies all over my desk where since I didn't finish it. So I think this is a great idea to keeping those projects put together until completion. So on this side of the table, I put my plastic drawer bin, and I made it face out this way so I have more space for my legs on the other side. But then I went ahead and added this contact paper that I used for my faux wood planner box tutorial. I'll make sure to link to that. I basically cut them to length, and I kept the contact sticky paper, I kept it on. I did not peel it at all. I didn't want it sticking onto anything from behind, and I just took double-sided tape and I just taped them around the corner, middle, and edges. That way they can it'll stick to the actual plastic. Then I took these cute little metal label holders from Michael's. I'll link to them as well in the description box. Basically, I attached them with hot glue because if I ever wanted to remove them, I could just pop them right off and then just use my computer to create these cute little labels. Then for this drawer, which is basically my miscellaneous drawer, I use some of these same bins that I used for my cabinet drawer organization video, and I just went ahead and put them in there so I can go ahead and separate a few things out. And I also bought this cute little letterboard over here at Walmart, and it only cost me $9.97. It comes with black letters, but I also got these cute little scripted words and nice little symbols in a kit that only costs $9.97 as well. It's a lot cheaper than what you see online, and I personally love the gray and white touch that it has to it. Also here, I got this bin at Walmart as well for only $4.47, and I get to store all of my corks in it because I have a ton of corks. My very first project, whoop, there went one of them. My very first project was a beautiful wreath, and I haven't been able to decide what my next project is going to be. So I have them there, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to create something. Then I put up a curtain rod, very inexpensive from Big Lots, and I put it right in the center of the wall because, first of all, I got this idea from my friend Arlene at Pinterventures. And basically, she hangs all of her stencils on a curtain rod, and I thought it was brilliant because most of the time, stencils come rolled up, especially if you order them online. Not the ones that you order in the store that are small, like the ones you see hanging, but ones that I've actually ordered for doing my wall stencils are huge and they come rolled up. Well, before you can use them, they have to lay flat. So this is a great way to get your stencils flat without putting them on the floor, having somebody walk all over them, and keeping them out of the way. Also, whenever I work on fabric, I also have a great place to hang my fabric as I'm cutting it, and a way to separate them out whenever I'm working with them. So this is actually very handy right here. Now, if you remember my clock that I mentioned in the last video, that is where I ended up putting it, and I love how it looks there. I put this cork board up so that whenever I am working on a particular project, like right now I'm trying to pick out colors for my bedroom and some inspiration from my favorite magazines, and work on color schemes right here. I went ahead and put that up there because I want to be able to see the stuff that I'm working on and create a, non-permanent mood board whenever I am creating something new for my space. As y'all know, I'm working on my house and I've got to transform pretty much every room in it. So I figured while I'm working on something, it'd be great to have like swatches of fabric or paint samples or inspiration so I can stay on track and, keep visualizing, what I have in mind. So I thought that was a great little place to do that. I bought these cute little shelves, these little spice rack shelves over at IKEA, and I gave them a really fun weathered look to match my wood clock right there. And I think they turned out great. And then I used the little containers to store little items that I didn't really have a place for and I need kind of handy. And then I used a few more storage boxes right here. I got these at Michael's. These are photo boxes, but I decided to go ahead and use them to store some items. And I have like a little project there that I'm not finished with, and some magazines for inspiration. Then I placed my expedite, I can't recall what it's called, how to pronounce it, because I bought it before they turned into Calyx or Calyx. See, I can never tell how to say those things. But I went ahead and used the same fabric that I used for my skirt to go ahead and cover this up. And my girlfriend over at the Inspiration Vault, Marie, thank you so much for your suggestion. I went ahead and put the little command Velcro strips on here on the actual unit so it doesn't get damaged. And then I added self-adhesive Velcro onto my fabric so that whenever I'm done with using the unit like this, I can always just pull it right off and I don't create any damage to it. But everything is nice and covered, and I can get to either my the rest of my fabric, any party supplies, or my sewing machines or anything else that I might need really easily. And I absolutely loved how that turned out. So to the left of that right there, I went ahead and put some command hooks up on my wall so that I can have all of my wreaths displayed, whether they're embroidery hook, loops, or wire wreaths, or hay wreaths, or whatever it is that I have. Because sometimes I go to the store and I think, do I have a wreath like that? And I can't remember, and then I come back and I do. So I figured if I have them here handy, first of all, I won't forget that I have them, and second of all, it would be easy to just grab off the wall and start working on them. I hope you enjoyed that craft room tour. I'll make sure to link to the tutorial on these bookcases so that you can see exactly how I transformed them. They will be in the description box below. I will also link up to a couple of the items that I talked about in the video below so you can find them easily. And I will also be uploading a complete video shortly of all the tips and tricks on how to get this cement tile look with stencils. It will be a complete tutorial where I share absolutely everything there is to know about how to stencil and how to create a flawless look like this. Now make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and hit subscribe so you can see more transformations that I will be doing very shortly to the rest of my home, especially if you like this Hamptons farmhouse style. I got a lot of different things coming your way, and now that my craft room is finished, I have a lot more projects that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I cannot wait. So I will see you next time. All right, bye.